What's up, everybody? Alex O Crypto. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Otter Gang. How we all doing? Oh, look. Those right there, that's my construction boots. I'm a carpenter by trade. Getting home, checking the charts. Let's get into it. Look, now you don't have to see the construction boots. But we're here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Shout out to you guys, the Otter Gang. FOMO is coming. But let's listen to Yoda, because FOMO, you must not. The dips, you must buy. And now let's look into the charts, because we out here, and just to let you know, if you haven't gotten fully into crypto, maybe you want to stop, because before crypto we used to sleep like an angel, and now we might be checking the charts when we're trying to go to bed. So just a heads up, we've talked to the otters. We've talked to the guy on the phone. He says we're going to dump it. So let's see what he's got to say. Can we go down? That is the question, because we've had a move. We're at the very bottom of the range, and it doesn't look good. Well, maybe it's Google. Google had some AI stuff come out that I heard was complete garbage. But we're going to go through the time frames. We're going to go through Market Cipher. We're going to check out everything for all you guys. Shout out to the chat. Spitting Dragons. Shout out to the Otter Gang. Alex O, give the knowledge. Anthony Soprano, what's up? Woke up to the dump. What's up? Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. I appreciate both of you. Thank you so much. Hey, Soprano, where are we going to go? I don't know. Let's figure it out together. Together we can, my friend. So, shout out to all the no-nos out there. I'm part Italian, so you know how it is. So let's look. Thank you so much for joining us. So we got this range here, and let's zoom through all the time frames now. The daily, the 2-day, we got that red dot. We have curled over. We're coming down. Money flow is coming out, right? This is a bearish sign. Money flow. Remember how thick money flow was on back in the day. Back in the day, like we're aging. I think we age faster by trading cryptocurrency, because oh look, we got a red X printing. Red X printing on the daily moved us down. Now it hasn't printed, which means that we need another candle, which means if you look to the right, you can see, on the daily, you can see over here, it says 1751. Well, there's 17 hours and 51 minutes left until the new candle comes. So we got time, right? More downside, I hope. I'm short on BTC. Well, guess what? I was in a long. I scalped this long, and I've exited this long in profits. It was juicy, but guess what? I'm in a short as well, and I'll share that in the Discord. So join us in the Discord. I did not give this trade setup in advance, but normally I'm shouting out when I do my trades, but I traded at work, which is kind of one of my rules, but I kind of broke it because I saw the move coming. So we'll get into that trade setup later. As we get down underneath the 18 and stuff, we can see money flows dramatically come out, and the stochastics RSI here has started to separate, which to me is bearish. And you can see how steep this is. We're even getting red dots here down on the momentum waves here on the 18, and you can see how steep it is here. Now when we go to the 12, we're looking for other signals. Now I can see very similar things. Now what we're trying to watch out for is we don't want to see a beautiful bullish divergence, because we might want to trade that as well, right? Now, what that would look like is if we could get lower lows, which we are, right? This lower low like this. Why is this in green? We are not. We are red today, so we're going to go with red. And we can get higher highs down here. This could bring us back up, right? Because we are at the bottom of the range. Remember, the range is for real. The range is for real. Does that make sense? But we could see more downside, because this has been quite a hefty push, right? It's back to green. We're having trouble with our drawing machine. So it's because I hit undo. So this looks much more dangerous. You can see push down and push down. And remember, if we look to the left here, we got wicked out by news. This was news. This candle right here was news. They tried again. They got destroyed. Whoa, I just draw a happy face. Look, it looks like Mr. Potato Head without even trying. We can give him a hat. Here we go, Mr. Potato Head. Now it looks like one of those guys, you know, with the NFTs, right? We can make an NFT out of this. Come on. Why not? All right. So we can see that we wicked out at the top. We've had the significant push down, tried to come back, now push down, right? And this is with pretty dovish news from the Fed. But Jerome Powell also said, I want to let you guys know that he also said in his meeting yesterday that there's not going to be much of a letdown and a pivot into interest rate decreasing, which means that we'll probably continue to get 0.25s, which isn't really that bullish if he's going to just continue to do that. And he said for the elongated future, and he was referring to all the way through 2023. So this could not be good for the markets. We got to be patient. We got to see what they give us. But if we look at the other markets, we will see that the S&P isn't pumping as much and the Dixie is pumping, which will naturally bring down Bitcoin. So let's get into the lower time frames and have a look here. And we can see on the 4 hour and the 1 hour, it's very much the same, but we're looking for this, obviously, this beautiful pattern here for this to come up and maybe bring us to the upside, right? And look for some sort of bullish divergences, but you can see there isn't a bull div that printed here, right? There isn't a bull div. So what I would be patient for and I'd be waiting for is if we can come up a bit and then print maybe lower and then fake us out and then get the bull div, which would mean something like this and then like this and like that, which we'll be looking for. That could be bullish. Because remember, we're in this range. We've been stuck in this range. We haven't broken above 24K, and we haven't dropped below 22,500 in quite some time. We are wicking below it now. So this is why we're thinking that maybe we could finally get the retrace that we've been talking on this channel for so long, right? We'll get into this trade setups. Wow, there it is. Maybe that's why I traded it today. I'll let you know how I got into these trade setups earlier, and where I am right now in my short and what we're looking for later. So I want to zoom out. I want to go onto the other charts, and I want to show you that if we go over to the S&P 500, we can see the S&P 500 has met this resistance point. If I go over to the 2-day, it has hit this resistance point that I've drawn out for us. I mean, about a week ago, and then it has not been able to get above it, right? And then on the Dixie, we have come up to this key level of resistance, but it's trying to punch through, right? We had this push down, and then it's trying to push through, which to me seems like it may continue to the upside and try to retrace to these previous levels that we've had from before. So back to Bitcoin, right? Back to Bitcoin. Let's throw up some levels and let's take a look at the levels and how they've been respected, right? I want to jump into the 4 hour and we'll go from there and break it down a little bit easier so that we can all have a better idea of what's going on, right? So I'm going to get rid of Market Cipher B because we've gone over that. We can see we got the reversal here on the 4 hour, but let's pull up some of the TA that I have. You know what? It may not make sense to you right away, but I'm going to go down to the daily. I'm going to pull out this thing. Now you got to mark out some key points on your chart for the downside. So we got this value area high of the previous range is right here, right? So we know that naturally we have been hanging out up here. And this is a total pull from the full range here, right? Now the big volume starts, where does it start? If we look to our left, we can see that it starts right around here, right? This big chunk of volume starts right around here. So if we continue lower, that's where I look for us to head, is down to this big chunk of volume. Now, that would be our first major level of support, right? So we got a big volume starts, we got to write this in big, bold letters because for me, as a carpenter, I am I am able to read numbers pretty well, but letters sometimes need to be big and bold and in your face, being like, hello, this is a support level, right? So make sure you mark these on your charts. I did have an alarm down here, so I'm going to right click this and I'm going to add an alert on this horizontal line and crossing, and I'm gonna crossing, and then I want it multiple times, which I think I have once per bar. Anyways, we'll deal with that later, but I'm gonna set an alarm on there as well to look for a failure pattern if we continue lower. So that is the large picture, right? We got the large picture. I'm sure we can pull some confluences as well from here up to the top of the wick, right? Oh, would you look at that? The 382s right around there as well. Holy smokes. Hey, guess what? The 0.5's here and the golden pocket's here. Well, guess what? I have those marked out on my chart as well, right? As well. But we need to get back and see if this will support us if we continue to the downside. Make sense? I hope it makes sense. Shout out to you guys. Much love in the chat. Now, let's zoom in to the more tighter time frames like I was saying from before. Let's go to the 2 hour. We have the range. We have the range that we've been trading ever since, this has been ever since January 20th, basically, right? Since the 20th of January. What is it? It's the 9th of February, right? 8th of February, where you guys are at, right? So we had these boxes marked out. We've come down to these boxes. Can we continue lower, right? Well, naturally, if we haven't gotten into a short position, I want you to mark out this area at 22,900, right? Psychological would say 23K would be our level that we get a bounce from if we're going to continue lower, not lawyer, lower. No need to call a lawyer. This is not financial advice. So, what's the trade setup here? Well, we're going to obviously pull up market Cipher. We're going to pull some Fibonacci. We can see where the value area high is and the value area low. We're currently at the value area low. So naturally, this price target right here says long, right? It says long. We want to trade the ranges. Naturally, we want to trade the ranges. Where's the range? Well, value area high, value area low. So it's between here and here. Here's our ranges. We have our boxes. We have a very high wick zone, right? And this is our very low wick zone, which is where we are right now, right? So this is our range. Can we break out of this range? Well, that's what we're looking for right now. So how am I going to trade this? Well, I'm going to look for swing failure patterns in both directions. Like I talked about before with the bullish divergence here. Can we retrace? So when I say retrace, I mean fib. Pull it right here. I would look for the 0.5 because we just got this huge point of control. Because shorted from 23,250 and from 22,950. 22,950. That's beautiful. 32.50. Look at you. You're on fire. Anthony Soprano, shout out to you in the chat. Shorting the heck out of this. I longed it at work. Quick scalp. I longed it at 22,864. And that was down here. Long, came up, took profits, right? Got out. Easy peasy, right? So what's the trade setup now? The first thing I'd be looking for right now is for it to retrace to this area right here that we marked out on our chart, right around 22.9, and enter a short. That would be my number one thought of trading right now. Hello, top 10. When dump, tongue face. Dump hopefully sooner rather than later. I think Bitcoin is due for a healthy retrace. Thank you for joining us. But first of all, shout out to you and thank you for joining us again, because we got a double take on that, of course, because we're growing in size slowly but surely. But we need for Bitcoin to move some sort of direction rather than just this range. We want a bigger move. We want to be able to trade it, and we're looking for the setups right now. So first thought is the short setup. So for it to come up here and then back down with some power would be my idea. So what does that mean? We know that this 22,903, 900, 23,000 area is our point of control. We know that this is the heaviest area of volume, plus there's a fib level right here, right? So if we do come back up, look for it to come within this range. I also like to be a bit cheeky and extend this down, because as we know, we've had 1, 2, 3 wicks from below. You can see them right here, right? So this level has been a great level of support. So it may only retrace up to this level. It may not come up to that box that we have, and it may just come only down so far. So maybe a ladder into your position is a better choice here from 22.8. That's our first setup, right? Now, let's go for a second setup. Second setup would definitely be if we fail to continue to dump, which sounds bad, but if we fail to continue to dump, we are at the value area low, right? So at the value area low, we'll be looking for a rollover and a lower low, and this to come up and print a higher high, right? This beautiful bullish divergence, this is what we'd be looking for. Now this could happen, right? Because we haven't seen too much volume in this move. Now let's pull up the volume and let's look, right? We haven't seen this type of volume for quite some time, right? We had this massive one over here, obviously, that brought us up into this range. This one, these were all news events, right? News event. So this has been a pretty decent move, actually, to push us downwards. Right here, they fought back, the bulls fought back, and right here, pushed down. I see snake eyes, but these snake eyes were back here, right? Did not work, right? Now we're getting another one. Could this work? We'll have to see. Clearly, there's some sort of whale or some sort of momentum shift in the markets since Jerome Powell's speech, because he said along the lines that they won't be looking to flip for quite some time. Maybe that scared a couple people out. Not these people who are investing in AI, though, because, you know, AI is just going bonkers right now. But we are getting the double green dot here. So on the shorter term time frames, looks a bit bullish, right? Tessin Tahir. I feel a move up to 1640s, then back to correction into 21K. So then we can get proper continuation. Algo, yes, I will check Algo for you, no problem. Thank you, Top 10, for joining us. 1640s, that would be quite the 1640s. Wow, that would be a good dump, wouldn't it? 1640. Why 1640? Now, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. So does everybody understand my bearish and bullish setups? We'll go over them again. First of all, 1640 is way down here, which is, or 16, maybe you meant 16400s. So that's this FTX range. We'll call this the FTX range because that's what brought us down into this range. And then we have the previous range before FTX kind of, I almost swore there, did something to the market. So I believe we have to work our way down to the bottom of this range first. And then we'll have a better idea if we can work our way back down. But a retracement, I think, is imminent for us to have a healthy, even if it's continuation. If we take off all this stuff, which is kind of messy as heck, right? I like clean charts, but I'll pull up all that stuff because just to show you guys how I go through my thought process, right? Is that if we're going to continue upwards, right? We have 25K here, which is huge, right? It's a huge level before we can get higher, right? So if we're going to continue up, price can't just come like this, right? We need to see some sort of retracement here that's somewhat healthy, right? To continue upwards, right? And that can continue that way. Otherwise, we can see something that's like this, right? And then we put in a lower high, and then we continue downwards and we change structure, right? And that would be bearish, completely bearish. What they're looking for is something like this, depending on where this drops. But somewhere along these lines is where we're trying to find these drops. That's why we definitely have trend lines, right? This trend line has been respected throughout. This is one of my favorite trend lines. This is all the way from the top of the market. If we zoom out on the weekly, we can see where it comes from, all the way from the previous high, all the way down through. A lot of people have this on their chart, right? But we're looking for a healthy retrace and then continuation, and we'll see. So let's go in algo. Algo man. Algo man. Ooh wee. This is good. This is good. Algo looks healthy. I am a holder of algo, and I do like it. I do like the project. I do think it's pretty sweet. Yellow X continuation, you say. Yellow X is all over algo. If we pull a fib, swing high, swing low. On the daily, we have some, we call this, Jason Casper calls this the pig nipples, this pattern here. We've been staying up high, but this tends to roll over eventually. Maybe we are at a peak right now, right? We are at a peak. We're also at a psychological low. If you pull a horizontal across here, right, you can see that these are previous lows. So what I would do is, okay, we got our fib up here. This is what I would pull. I would pull my fib. I would know that this is my fib from swing high to swing low, right? Then I would mark out the bottom over here to my left. I get all these bottoms. Okay, that's where we are. So we're trying to punch through these bottoms, right? Then I would pull a fixed range volume profile from here all the way over to before we got the dump. And then I get my value areas, right? So look at that. If we look at this previous range, we've come to the value area low, which now I move that to there. So the value area low of the previous range is acting as resistance. It's not letting us up. You can see clear touch, right? It's funny how well this is respected, right? So you could have been waiting for this level and shorted it from here, right? Which would have been a great short, would have been a nice, chunky, beautiful, 10% if you got it at the bottom of that wick. This doesn't mean that it can't continue lower, right? So you see this moving, and it's been steady, right? It's stayed above. Money flow is still coming upwards, right? So if you look at this, money flow has actually been skyrocketing on the daily, right? I don't see any let up on that. So I'd be patient with algo, and I'd be waiting on the lower time frames to see some sort of turnover. There was quite a push here in volume as well. You can see that volume has been trending higher, right, over this run. So that means that this run is pretty strong. It's trying to catch up, right? So remember, we're at a key level of resistance. We have a Fibonacci above it. We have value areas that we've pulled from previous ranges. And we got to keep an eye out because I'm sure this point of control right here is where this Fibonacci is. So I'd extend this to the point of control. I'd be looking for an entry for a short at the bottom of this around 33 cents. And then obviously if it can't make it up there, I'd be looking for a swing failure pattern at the top of this resistance that it just hit in order to short it as well. So if it's going to continue downwards, I'd be looking for this to work its way back up, maybe make a lower high, something like that, with a higher high and something like that. Some sort of divergence for it to look, or just a continuation of a downtrend, which means you can pull a Fibonacci from here all the way down to this wick and look for a re-entry as it comes back up to retrace, right? So you got a fib, pull it from here, right? And look and target 28 cents 70. That's my thoughts for algo. But right now, most things are going to follow Bitcoin. So keep an eye on Bitcoin and be aware that right now it has come to its previous value area lows, and it could be looking to move up or down, but right now it's moved with quite the conviction to the downside, which means that we might go lower because we've been waiting for this for quite some time. So that's my thoughts on algo. I hope that helps you. So go out there, trade safe, practice good risk management, and, have some fun, right? This is what it's all about, is that, we're here to extract profits from the market, but we're also here to preserve our capital. And I think that's the number one thing that I preach here, is about mindset and about preserving our capital in order to trade for the next day, right? We don't want to be blowing our accounts. I use quite high leverage, but I'm always using a stop loss. I'm always using good risk management. I pay myself early, and I always am looking to do well with preserving my capital. Bearish divergence on algo. Well, what time frame? But that's what we're looking for, right? If that makes sense. Awesome. Thank you so much, Top 10. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah, I can see it now. Get it, buddy. On the 1 minute. Shout out to Felix. How are you doing, bro? Main man in the Discord. My man from Australia. Getting off work. Hopefully you weren't in too many holes today. That sounded so wrong. My bad. We're talking about trade setups here on Bitcoin. I've covered Bitcoin. Yes, I have. And my trade setups. I'm currently in a short, looking to maybe add or go into a long. We are at the value area low, and we have definitely come down with some power, with some conviction. So maybe this can push us through this support level around 25,000 or 22,500. Now, we are having a little bit of a bounce. Felix put in too many holes, working in the holes. Partner looked at. Oh, don't kill me. So we have this trend line. We can see that we bounced off of it pretty nicely. I got into a short, doing all right. Looking for it to either give us a bull div. So I'd look for a swing failure pattern again. I'd look for something where it comes over like that, right? We get the bull div that comes like that on the bottom, and I'd be waiting for that to enter along, because obviously we're at a very key level, which is a value area low. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Why you don't have the SR? What do you mean, top 10? The SR. Support, resistance, SR, market cipher. Is that what you're talking? So yeah, we're looking for a swing failure pattern down below here. This is obviously a key level 2. I like the SR because of the numbers it gives, and it has a good VWAP. But I tend to not like the numbers all over my chart all the time, and I do have VWAP here up at the top that I use to scalp all the time. So the SR is a good indicator, but I find that it does crowd my chart. So for me, it's not needed. I find that it's just too much going on. How can I add more time frame, please? Well, if you go to this little tab here at the top, right, you see all the time frames. You can click and you can star them, right? And if you haven't added them, you go down to the very bottom and you can pick whether you want to add, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 3 hour, or the 10, 12. I love the 12 and the 24. I think Felix likes the 20. What is it? 22 or 23? You can add your weeks, your months, your days. So depending on what you want, if I want to add the 44-minute because that's your number, then add it. But that's how you do it. You just go up to this little arrow and you can add them. The 22 minutes. See, let's go to the 22 minute. Felix. Look at the beautiful reversal / blood diamond. I mean, I'm not able to add time frames. That would be, you should be able to with the free one. Maybe not. No. If you don't have the paid one, then I don't think you can add multiples. I think you're limited to like the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 15. You need an account. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Ugh. Thanks, Soprano. He likes the new intro. The new intro. Soprano complained about the music. Then he said that the video looked bummy, so I changed the video and I changed the music. So hopefully it's a lot better. Alex, do you think we're going to bounce or dump, bro? I believe that we're going to... Oh, this is a hard call. 22 does not have bull divs yet. I mean, we do have this here. I guess you can say this is a bull divs, but this in my opinion it's way too long played out. It's way too long. That's hidden. Maybe that's hidden. I'd wait something on the shorter time frames here. Definitely. So I'd go down to you and your 22. 22 gave you a reversal and a blood diamond signal, though. So shout out to Felix with the 22. That totally could have got you in a good trade here. But on the lower time frames, we're looking for this to curl over, right? And then continue up, and then we get one of these. And maybe make a lower low. But if we do see this curl up with another green dot, that could be a good signal for a long, right? We're going to have to be patient here. But thank you, Soprano, for pushing me to greatness. Shout out to you. We do need to be patient here. We do need to wait. But what my gut tells me is that we're going to go lower because of the way we've moved down and been rejected at the value area high here. Naturally, this is not financial advice, but you should be longing from this area. If you are going on a strategy and you're like, I will long the bottoms and short the tops of the ranges, like we talk about constantly, well then, guess what? You're at the bottom of the range right now. What happens is if you do this, eventually you're going to go like this, and you're going to make a trade here and a trade here and a trade here and a trade here. And then this one's going to shoot to the moon, and it's going to knock you out. So when is that going to happen? Nobody knows. But if you look at this, we can see that we're below the value area low. We've come down to this level of the previous wicks from before. We haven't been this low in quite a bit. We have worked ourselves into a 1, 2, 3 wave structure, in my opinion, and this can continue downwards, right? And then maybe a corrective on the way up. You've broken these previous lows, so we're making lower lows overall. So, is it? I think it might be. I'm in a short. That's what I am doing, is I'm in a short. I'm not in a long yet. I will obviously tell you guys in the Discord. So join us in the Discord. Like and subscribe to the channel. And I will post my trade setups and how I got into trades and when I'm trading. Always try to post before I enter. Because you know what? It's not financial advice, and I am wrong, but I am right sometimes too, right? So my strategy tends to work out because I take profits early and I move my stop loss up. And that's the thing. We haven't broken the range. You're absolutely right. And we're bouncing off, obviously, the previous lows right here, as we can see. And we're waiting to see if we can get a bullish signal. But look at the volume in this. This is a massive power move to push us down to this area. We have 2 days left in the week. It's Thursday in Australia, but Wednesday always seems to be a market reversal day. So look, if we think about it, how we have this move up, and then Wednesday, we start Wednesday, and we reverse the market. Will this continue to the downside? That's what we're looking for. What it does tell me, though, is that we are at the value area low, and we should be looking for a long entry. We should be. Am I in a short? Yes, I am in a short from up here in this area. I've taken profits. Stop loss is also in profits, so I'm not worried about that. S&P 500 is definitely up. So we be patient. We be patient and we wait. Can't get above this 4180 area that we've had marked out for quite a bit of time. But there's no big bearish signals on the S&P. I don't see any big divs. So we're making higher highs and higher highs all the way through. Daily. Yeah, so nothing too significant on the S&P 500 besides that it's coming up to resistance. And the Dixie, in order for Bitcoin to dump, it should be pumping, which it doesn't. It looks like it's in a downtrend right now. I heard Matic was on a roar today. Matic has been flying. Absolutely flying. Look at this channel. It's at the bottom of the channel, though. Definitely at the bottom of that channel. Matic is definitely flying upwards. It's got some oomph. It's got some oomph. Matic, I'm a holder of Matic too. Definitely believe in that system. Coca-Cola's with them, a whole bunch of people. Now Ethereum, on the other hand, Ethereum doesn't look too healthy. Ethereum is also in a bit of a channel here. We can see. I'm hedging slow. There's nothing wrong with a schlong. Nothing wrong with a schlong as long as you pay yourself, right? Because we otters out here. If you not noticed, this otter has got quite the schlong. So he's doing all right, this otter. So I'm in a short and I'm looking to enter a long right now, right? Or we look for a retracement. Where do we say our retracement is? Well, it's at 23,000. 23,000 right here. This is my level that I'm looking to add to my short. Why do I say that? Because this is where the point of control is. I zoom out and I pull this range. Get rid of all this junk. And we pull the range, we can see, oh wow, look at that. 22,917. Why wouldn't it go to 23? Okay, 22. But 23,000 is definitely a psychological level, right? It's much easier to type into your keyboard. Took profit and moved stop loss to profit like you. There you go, man. Risk-free trading, stress-free trading, man. Awesome, Phil. Awesome, man. I find even like taking 50% and just letting the rest ride. That's what I did with that 388%, and I took the rest at the bottom. Beautiful trade, you know? Beautiful trade. And just sit on my hands. There we go. My man. Felix. Schlonging. Shout out to the people out there schlonging. My man. That's awesome. Well, I'm going to go and have dinner with Mrs. Otter. She's been out there in the crane position, holding our modem to the sky, pointing north at the same time, and trying to get us the best signal possible. We still haven't gotten the internet. I don't know what's going on, but there's more to come. Lots of videos to come for this channel. We're gonna do a mindset series, and we're gonna do some basic starter tutorials on the tools that I use and how I use them. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm gonna draw up my trading ideas for you and share them in the Discord. So don't forget to join me. We got Mrs. Otter's yoga mat back there, and we got my construction boots down here. We're making it happen. I appreciate every single one of you. God bless you. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Peace out. And bye for now. And be safe out there. Bye. Mrs. Otter, did you see how much it was raining today? It was a monsoon. Yeah? Well, I like getting wet.